Listen to me closely. 2026 is not coming to save you. It's coming to test you. This is the year you stop talking about potential and start proving it. See, most people wake up every morning already tired, not in the body, but in the mind. They wake up defeated before the day even begins. But you're here because something in you refuses to stay average. 2026 is the year you stop waiting for motivation and start moving with discipline. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up when you don't want to. Discipline gets up early. Discipline trains in silence. Discipline builds a version of you that fear can't stop. You don't need more time. You need more intent. Every morning is a decision. Every alarm is a test. Every excuse is a vote for the life you don't want. So when your mind says, stay comfortable, you say, I'm built for more. This is the year you stop negotiating with weakness. This is the year you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. And it all starts with how you wake up. 2026 is not a lucky year. It's an earned year. That means nothing about this year is handed to you just because the calendar changes. Time does not reward people for existing. It rewards people for becoming. A lot of folks walk into a new year hoping something magical will happen, hoping opportunities will just fall into their lap, hoping success will finally notice them. But hope without effort is just a dream with no engine. An earned year is built on daily choices, not wishes. It's built when you decide to show up even when nobody is watching, when you work on yourself when there's no applause, and when you keep going long after the excitement wears off. Luck is what people use to explain results they didn't understand. They see someone winning and say, they're lucky. But they didn't see the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline, the patience. They didn't see the failures that taught lessons. They didn't see the moments when quitting felt easier than continuing. An earned year means you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating momentum with what you already have. You don't need the whole staircase, just the next step. And every step you take with intention compounds into something powerful. When you treat 2026 like a lottery ticket, you stay passive. When you treat it like a project, you stay active. You stop asking, what will this year give me? And start asking, what will I give this year? You give effort. You give focus. You give consistency. And over time, that investment pays interest in confidence, skill, and strength. The people who win big don't rely on sudden bursts of motivation. They rely on systems. They rely on habits. They rely on showing up on the days they don't feel inspired. An earned year also means taking responsibility. No blaming your past. No pointing fingers at your situation. No waiting for someone else to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You look in the mirror and say, if it's going to change, it's on me. That mindset is heavy, but it's also freeing. Because when you own the results, you also own the power to change them. Every workout you don't skip, every hour you don't waste, every skill you practice, every fear you face, that's you earning your future one action at a time. So 2026 becomes different not because the world changes, but because you do. You stop gambling with your life and start investing in it. You stop hoping for a break and start building a breakthrough. You stop waiting for luck and start becoming the kind of person luck looks like from the outside, but is really just discipline in disguise, built day after day, choice after choice, rep after rep in silence, when nobody is clapping and nothing feels guaranteed, but you keep going anyway, because you decided this is your year to earn everything you want out of life. Discipline beats motivation every single morning, because motivation is emotional and temporary, while discipline is structured and reliable. Motivation depends on how you feel when you wake up. If you feel excited, you move. If you feel tired, stressed, or bored, you stop. Discipline doesn't care about your mood. Discipline is a decision made in advance. It's you saying, no matter how I feel at 5 a.m., I already chose what I'm going to do. That's power. Because feelings change, but standards don't. Most people wait to feel ready before they act. That's why they stay stuck. They tell themselves, when I'm motivated, I'll start. But the truth is, action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you get up and do the work first, your mind catches up later. Discipline moves the body before the mind feels comfortable. And once the body moves, the mind starts to believe. That's how confidence is built. Not by hype, by follow through. Every morning is a battlefield. One side is comfort, sleep, excuses, and delay. The other side is growth, progress, and self-respect. Motivation might show up some days and help you fight, but discipline shows up every day, armed and ready, whether you like it or not. Discipline is what tells you to get out of bed when your alarm goes off and your brain starts negotiating. 5 more minutes. Tomorrow I'll start. Today doesn't really matter. Discipline cuts through all that noise and says, get up. Your future is waiting. When you rely on motivation, you live in cycles. You start strong, then fade. You get excited, then distracted. You feel inspired, then overwhelmed. Discipline breaks the cycle. Discipline is boring. It's repetitive. It's unglamorous. But it works. It's the quiet consistency that stacks small wins into big results. One workout doesn't change your life. One focused hour doesn't build your dream. But thousands of disciplined mornings do. Discipline also builds identity. Every time you do what you said you would do, you send yourself a message, I can trust me. That trust becomes self-respect. And self-respect becomes confidence. Not loud confidence. Quiet, unshakable confidence. The kind that doesn't need approval. The kind that keeps moving even when nobody is watching. So when the alarm goes off and you don't feel like it, that's not a problem. That's the opportunity. That's the moment discipline is born. Not when it's easy. Not when you're hyped. But when it's hard and you do it anyway. Because discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And consistency is what separates people who dream from people who build. Morning after morning, choice after choice, you either train your weakness or you train your will. And the one you train is the one that takes control of your life, your habits, decide your future, not your wishes, because wishing is passive and habits are active. A wish is something you hope for, but a habit is something you do. People say they want success, health, confidence, freedom, and respect, but what they really have are routines that either support those things or quietly destroy them. The future doesn't show up as a surprise. It shows up as a pattern. What you repeat every day becomes what you live with every year. Most lives are not shaped by big dramatic moments. They're shaped by small, boring choices made over and over again. What time you wake up, what you do with the first hour of your day, what you eat, what you read, who you listen to, how you talk to yourself. These things don't feel powerful in the moment, but they are shaping your identity. And your identity is what your future is built on. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. You can dream about being disciplined, focused, strong, and successful, but if your daily behavior doesn't match that dream, the dream loses every time. Your habits are like votes. Every time you repeat an action, you vote for the kind of person you are becoming. Skip the work, you vote for weakness. Do the work, you vote for strength. Waste time, you vote for regret. Use time, you vote for growth. A lot of people think they need more motivation, but what they really need are better systems. You don't need to feel inspired to brush your teeth. You just do it because it's part of who you are. That's what powerful habits do. They remove emotion from the equation. They make progress automatic. When your habits are right, your future doesn't depend on your mood. It depends on your structure. Your habits also protect you when life gets hard. When stress hits, you don't suddenly rise up and become a better version of yourself. You fall back to what you've trained. If your habit is to quit when it's uncomfortable, that's what you'll do. If your habit is to stay disciplined when it's difficult, that's what you'll do. Pressure doesn't create character. It reveals it. Changing your future means changing what you do when no one is watching. Not what you post, not what you say, what you repeat. Your morning routine, your work ethic, your standards, your consistency. Those are the tools that carve your path forward. You don't wake up one day with a great life. You build it slowly with habits that seem small at first, but become unstoppable over time. So if you want a different year, don't just set new goals. Set new behaviors. Don't just write what you want. Live in a way that proves you're serious about it. Because your future is already being built right now by what you choose to repeat today, and the only way to change where you're going is to change what you keep doing when nobody is watching and when it would be easier to stop, but you don't And that quiet consistency becomes the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. Comfort is the enemy of greatness because comfort makes you settle, and settling slowly kills your potential. Comfort feels good in the moment. It feels safe. It feels familiar. But comfort never asks you to grow. It never demands more from you. It never challenges your limits. And anything that doesn't challenge you will never change you. Growth lives on the edge of discomfort. That's where strength is built, confidence is earned, and character is formed. Most people don't fail because they can't do more. They fail because they stop doing what's hard once life becomes easier. They reach a level that feels good enough and decide to stay there. But good enough is the most dangerous place you can live because it feels like success while quietly blocking your greatness. When you get comfortable, you stop pushing. When you stop pushing, you stop improving. And when you stop improving, you start falling behind without even noticing. Comfort whispers lies to you. It says, you've done enough. It says, you deserve to relax. It says, you can start tomorrow. And those words feel reasonable. They feel justified, but they slowly turn into habits. And those habits turn into regret. Greatness is built by people who don't listen to that voice. People who choose effort over ease. People who choose discipline over delay. People who choose growth over comfort. Every time you do what's uncomfortable, you expand your world. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. You build resilience. You build self-respect. You build momentum. But every time you avoid discomfort, you shrink your world. You teach yourself to run from challenge. You train your mind to quit early. You reinforce weakness instead of strength. The gym is uncomfortable. Studying when you're tired is uncomfortable. Waking up early is uncomfortable. Saying no to distractions is uncomfortable. Being honest with yourself is uncomfortable. But those are the very things that create extraordinary people. No one becomes unstoppable by staying where it's easy. You become unstoppable by doing what others won't. Comfort also steals time. It convinces you to waste hours scrolling, watching, waiting, and wishing. Meanwhile, your potential is sitting there untouched. You don't get paid in life for what you know. You get paid for what you do. And what you do when you're uncomfortable determines how far you go. If you want more, you have to be willing to feel more. More pressure, more effort, more responsibility, more discipline. You don't rise by being relaxed. You rise by being relentless. The moment you choose discomfort on purpose, you take control of your future. You stop being a victim of ease and start becoming a student of effort. So the next time your mind tells you to stay comfortable, understand what that really means. It means stay the same. And staying the same is the fastest way to fall behind. Greatness begins the moment you decide that comfort is too small for who you're trying to become, and you start choosing the hard road, because that's the only road that leads to a life you're proud of and a version of yourself that knows you didn't settle for easy when you were capable of becoming great. Becoming unstoppable starts with how you start your day, because the morning sets the tone for everything that follows. The first hour after you wake up is not just time. It's a signal to your mind about who's in control. If the day begins in chaos, distraction, and delay, the rest of the day usually follows that pattern. But when the day begins with purpose, discipline, and focus, you carry that energy forward into every decision you make. Most people let the world grab them before they grab the world. They wake up and the first thing they touch is their phone. Messages, noise, problems, other people's priorities. Their mind is already reacting instead of leading. An unstoppable person does the opposite. They wake up and take control. They decide who they're going to be before the world tells them what to feel. That's power. Your morning is where identity is built. It's where you either prove to yourself that you're serious or you lie to yourself again. When you wake up and keep the promises you made the night before, you build trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. You don't need hype when you know you can rely on your own word. How you wake up determines how you think. How you think determines how you act. And how you act determines what you become. That's why mornings matter more than people realize. They're the training ground for your will. Every time the alarm goes off and you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen the part of you that doesn't quit when life gets hard. An unstoppable life is built before 9 a.m. It's built when no one is watching. It's built in silence. It's built in routines that look boring from the outside, but feel powerful on the inside. Reading when others are scrolling. Training when others are sleeping. Planning when others are procrastinating. That's not luck. That's leadership. You don't become unstoppable by doing something big once. You become unstoppable by doing small things right every single morning. Drink water. Move your body. Clear your mind. Set your goals. Remind yourself who you are and what you're working toward. These are not random habits. These are rituals of control. Your morning is the front door to your future. If you leave it open to laziness, distraction, and excuses, that's what walks in. But if you guard it with intention, structure, and purpose, you protect your momentum. And momentum is dangerous. Momentum changes everything. So if you want a different life, don't wait for a different year. Start with a different morning. Don't ask for motivation. Build discipline. Don't wait to feel ready. Get up and act. Because the person you become in the first hour of the day decides the person you'll be when the pressure hits later on. And if this message fired you up, helped your mindset, or made you think differently about your mornings, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.